Still on the guns of the force. Get ready. Airborne from skies of blue. Ready to go. Coming. Make your jumps and take your bows today. Let's go. Put on your boots. Your jumping boots. Your parachute. Your parachute. Get all those gliders ready to attack today. Hook up or we'll be gone. Bring our jet into the dawn. At station time to fight them all.
So today at Have a Knife Day, we're here at Blade Show Atlanta 2023, and we have Brian. Brian.
Good morning.
What the buck?
Well, yes. I have the Buck Tactical Collection, and I've always said that I believe the first tactical knife was the Buck 110. It was introduced in 1964. And it's still made today. They probably made over 50 million of them.
It's a very prolific knife.
Right, and it started the first lockback folding knife.
And that knife looks well used.
Well, you know, that knife there was made before 1967.
So that's been in a pocket or two.
It probably has, yeah. It's the second version. Didn't last that long because they use a fiber spacer in the back, and they noticed that was failing a little bit. So they started with brass, and then they went to steel. The second folder of note was the titanium. It was the first time that Buck ever, or anybody ever, used titanium scales on a knife.
So when did that happen?
1987.
So that was not, I mean, we take titanium for granted today.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this used to be pretty exclusively just something of the aerospace and outer space and super secret jets and all that kind of stuff.
Well, it came out of the collaboration they had with a company in Southern California, Qualitech. And these are the guys that kind of designed the Buckmaster and the 186. They had a source for the titanium.
Now, was this back when it was still in California then?
Yeah, in Southern California. They didn't move up to Idaho until 2005. This is the Buckmaster Lightweight. So instead of the chunky handle with the pins and all that, they just did a full frame. It was forged, and they plastic dipped it. There were only 6,000 of these made, and out of the Buckmasters, there were hundreds of thousands made.
Oh, very much so. Now, what about this one here, the Intrepid?
This one here is Intrepid. It was a Kit Carson design. Actually, this knife here his custom was the U2, a little bit larger, but there were 4 knives in the series. The small with a tanto blade, a large chisel point, and a large tanto blade. And none of them, for the 2 years that they were out, were that many produced. This is one of the few custom tactical knives out of the Buck Custom Shop. There were 25 sets made, and this is set 22. They were made for a Buck rep out of Florida.
Wow.
In 2000, Buck had a collaboration with the Strider Knife Company. And they started out with the Tanto, the large. The first 500 were made in BG42, and then after that, the regular steel at that time was ATS 34. So this was the first Strider Buck #1, the large folder, titanium liners, G10 scales. The first G10 was this very rough G10.
Oh, you could use that to file down your nails.
Well, and then
eat your pocket out.
Tear up pockets.
Yes.
When they went to the
second
generation, you could feel how much smoother that was. And you could tell the second generation because they were ambidextrous. So the screws are on both sides, and the thumb stud is on both sides.
It's kind of important.
Oh, yeah.
You got to pay some respect to the lefties in this world.
Oh, yeah. The second one was the smaller one, smaller than that. And then the third one was the Solution, the fixed blade. Again, the first 500 of the production were done in BG42, and then ATS 34.
Now that's a substantial knife.
Oh, yeah.
That's very, very thick.
Now there were two grinds. I call this like a flat grind, but it might be a radius hollow. But the regular production, a year after they were introduced, went to this squared hollow that Buck usually uses. Towards the end of the collaboration, they did these full-size field knives.
I've seen one here and there.
Yeah.
They are about as rare as chicken teeth.
They are. They were only out for 2 years. I've seen 3 or 4 in my collecting years and all that. This was the Buck Strider Tyranny police knife.
And that has some very interesting texture on it.
Yeah, they were a molded handle with fiberglass in them.
Now, what is that?
They use that for gripping a knife. It was for 2 hands. So it was designed for police, so you'd pull it out and you could grab the blade and pull it out, even if you're wearing gloves.
Wow.
And all that. This is probably the rarest of all. It was a trainer. Never really went over. A lot of guys would take them and it'd sharpen the blade.
Oh, yeah.
But with the dull blade, with the blunt tip, very hard to find.
That's some high mirror polish.
Factory custom knife, mirror polished blade, ironwood handles.
I think myself, getting more and more into collecting knives, I always wish I started sooner.
Yeah.
Because you see all of this stuff and it's amazing, and it's just not there.
And by 2007, the collaboration was over.
Wow. Look at that carbon fiber.
Yeah,
That's
these were
nice.
collaboration with Tom Mayo. So titanium, carbon fiber, and then titanium.
That is an interesting blade style.
It's a Besh, B-E-S-H. So it was a very thick tip for penetrating.
And finally,
Yes, the Marksman, my favorite knife, developed by Grant and Gavin Hawk. So it's got this strong lock system, very nice flipper, runs on ball bearings. I'm left-handed, so all you do is you flip the clip around.
simple. Yeah.
And as long as you know how to manipulate the lock, this is a great knife.
Show us how to do that again.
And I manipulate by lifting it up.
Okay, you're faster than I am. One more time. Boom, there we go.
And just lift.
Wow, that is something else. That is something
So I was
else.
at the Blade Show when these were introduced, and I'm standing at the booth, Buck booth, and this young man wanted to see the knife, and they were ignoring him. So I handed him my knife. He cut himself 3 times in less than 1 minute. So now I know why they weren't.
So that's the Thirsty Blade.
Yes.
It's very, very thirsty. Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Now, do you have a website or a Facebook page?
The Buck Collectors Club has a Facebook page. Buck Collectors Club. It's easy to find.
So just go over and check out the Facebook page, Buck Collectors Club. And you too can figure out what the buck is going on. All right, Brian, thank you so much, and have a nice day.
Thank you.
We will, and perish all the guns of the foe.